You're about to board your cruise, but the biggest mistakes often happen before you ever step foot onto the ship. One rush choice at the terminal can delay your luggage, get items confiscated, or start your vacation stressed. Here are the 8 things to never do before boarding, especially the last one. Number 8. Don't arrive with unfinished check-in. Before boarding day, your online check-in should already be done. That means your passport or ID details are entered, your onboard payment method is ready, your emergency contact is added, and your arrival time is selected. This sounds basic, but this is where a lot of cruise stress begins. Some passengers wait until the morning of the cruise to finish everything. Then they realize their boarding pass is not showing, or their credit card didn't save, their name doesn't match their travel document, or they still need to upload information before they can move smoothly through the terminal. That is not the kind of problem you want to solve while standing in a crowded line with your suitcases, your phone battery dropping, and a ship full of people trying to board behind you. Cruise terminals move fast when you're prepared. They move painfully slow when you're not. Before you leave the port, make sure your boarding pass is saved on your phone and available offline. Don't rely on the Wi-Fi or mobile signal at the terminal because ports can be crowded and connection can be weak. And print a backup copy if that makes you feel safer. Then check your documents carefully. Your name on the booking should match your passport or accepted ID. Your passport should be valid for the trip you're taking. Your travel documents should be easy to reach, not buried inside a suitcase you already handed to the porter. The goal is simple. When someone asks for your documents, you should not need to dig, panic, or open 3 different apps. You should be ready. And this is where the cruise starts to feel different. Prepared passengers walk through boarding day with calm control. Unprepared passengers turn the first hour of vacation into an office errand with ocean views. Now, if you want to make this part easier, grab the free cruise packing checklist linked below. It helps you keep the small boarding day details in one place, so you're not trying to remember everything at the terminal. Because once the paperwork is clean, the next mistake is all about what you hand over too early. Number 7. Don't put essentials in checked luggage. The moment you hand your suitcase to the porter, you need to assume you will not see it again for several hours. Now, that doesn't mean your bag is lost. That's just how cruise boarding works. Thousands of suitcases are collected, sorted, moved through the ship, and delivered to cabins throughout the day. Some bags arrive early, some arrive later, some show up close to dinner. So never pack anything important in the suitcase you check at the port. Your passport should stay with you. Your ID should stay with you. Your wallet, credit cards, phone, medication, glasses, chargers, travel documents, camera, jewelry, baby supplies, and anything you truly need should stay in your carry-on. This is especially important with medication. Now, don't think, well, I'll probably get my bag before I need it. Probably is not good enough on boarding day. If you need something for your health, comfort, or safety, keep it on your body or in your personal bag. The same goes for your first few hours on board. If you want to use the pool before your cabin is ready, pack your swimsuit in your carry-on. If you're traveling with kids, keep snacks, wipes, and anything they might need close to you. If you plan to take photos, keep your camera or phone charger nearby. A smart cruise carry-on is not huge. It's just useful. Think of it as your survival bag for the first half day on board. It should have your documents, medication, valuables, electronics, basic toiletries, and one small change of clothes if you want extra peace of mind. The mistake is thinking your checked luggage is still part of your day. Once you hand it over, it's out of your control. Now, that's fine if your bag only has clothes, shoes, and things you can wait for. It becomes a problem when your passport, medicine, or phone charger is inside it. And that brings us to one of the most annoying terminal mistakes, because it does not just slow you down, it slows everyone down. Number 6. Don't stand in the porter drop-off area. The porter drop-off area is not a waiting room. It's not the place to repack your suitcase, search for your passport, fix your luggage tags, take group photos, or discuss which bags should go where. It's a working area. Cars are pulling in, shuttles are unloading, families are stepping out with bags, porters are moving luggage quickly. Other passengers are trying to get through the same tight space without missing their arrival window. So when someone stops in the middle of that area and starts reorganizing everything, the whole flow gets worse. Now, this is one of those cruise mistakes that seems harmless until you're the one standing behind it. One family opens 3 suitcases on the curb. Another passenger blocks the porter while looking for cash. Someone else realizes their luggage tags are not attached and starts digging through the emails while bags pile up around them. This is how boarding day gets messy before anyone reaches the ship. The better move is simple. Prepare before you arrive. Attach your luggage tags at the hotel, at home, or before you leave the car. Know which bags are getting checked and which bags are staying with you. Keep your passport and boarding documents in a small personal bag, not inside the suitcase that's about to disappear. And if you plan to tip the porter, keep a few small bills ready. Then move with purpose. Get out, place the check bags where they need to go, confirm the tags are visible, thank the porter, and step away from the drop-off lane. If you need to adjust something, move to the side first. That small bit of awareness makes the whole process smoother. It also makes you look like someone who's done this before. The terminal is already busy enough. You do not need to add more friction to it. And once your luggage is handed over properly, the next mistake comes down to timing. This is where a lot of passengers think they're being smart, but they're actually making the day harder. Number 5, don't ignore your arrival time. Your cruise arrival time is not a random suggestion. It exists because the cruise line is trying to control the crowd. A ship may carry thousands of passengers, and most of them are trying to board within the same few hours. If everyone shows up at once, the terminal becomes a wall of luggage, documents, security lines, and confused people staring at their phones. That's why cruise lines use arrival windows. They help spread out check-in. They help keep security moving. They help stop the terminal from turning into a packed airport gate with worse luggage. The mistake is thinking, well, I'll just show up early and get on first. Well, sometimes that works, but sometimes it doesn't. Depending on the port, the cruise line, and how busy the terminal is, arriving too early can mean standing outside, waiting in a holding area, or being told to come back closer to your selected time. Now, this is not a relaxing start, but arriving too late can be much worse. Now, cruise ships have strict final boarding procedures. The ship is not going to delay departure just because you misread your timing, got stuck in traffic, or thought boarding ended closer to sail away than it really did. You need margin, not panic. Plan your morning around your arrival window, not around the time the ship leaves. If your arrival time is 11:30, do not plan like you can casually reach the port at 1:45 because the ship leaves at 4. That's how small delays become big problems. Check how far your hotel is from the terminal. Account for traffic. Account for rideshare delays. Account for long elevator waits at the hotel if everyone else is leaving for the same ship. Cruise boarding is easiest when you respect the schedule. You don't need to arrive at sunrise. You don't need to be the first person in the terminal. You just need to arrive prepared, within your window, and with enough time to handle the unexpected. That is how boarding day stays calm. But even if your timing is perfect, the next mistake can still stop you at security. Number 4, never bring a power strip with a surge protector. This is one of the most common cruise packing mistakes. A passenger looks around the house, sees a normal power strip, and thinks, perfect, I'll need more outlets in the cabin. Then they get to the port and find out the item may be confiscated. The problem is usually the surge protector. Cruise ship electrical systems are not the same as your home electrical system, and surge-protected power strips are widely treated as a safety risk on board. Some cruise lines ban power strips, extension cords, and multi-plug outlets completely. Others may allow certain non-surge charging devices or simple adapters, depending on the design and the ship's rules. But the safest rule is this: Never bring anything labeled surge protector, surge protected, or anything with a jewel rating. Now, if you see those words, leave it at home. Don't try to sneak it in, and don't assume security will miss it. Do not think, well, it's only for my phone or tablet. Cruise lines take electrical safety seriously, and confiscated items usually stay with security until the end of the trip. That means your smart charging plan can disappear before you ever reach your cabin. The better option is to check your cruise line's prohibited items list before packing. Look for a cruise-approved USB charging hub or a simple non-surge adapter if your cruise line allows it. Many cabins already have more charging options than older ships did, especially newer vessels with USB ports near the bed or desk. Still, it helps to plan ahead. Bring short charging cables. Bring a portable power bank for your phone during embarkation day. Charge important devices before you leave the hotel. And remember that the goal is not to create a home office in your cabin. It's to keep your phone, watch, camera, and basic devices charged safely. Now, this mistake feels small, but it's exactly the kind of thing that catches new cruisers off guard. They pack something useful at home, then learn it's a problem at sea. And this is where boarding day starts to separate prepared cruisers from stressed ones, because the next few mistakes are not about packing anymore. They're about judgment. Number 3, don't start drinking before you board. A cruise is supposed to be fun. Nobody's arguing with that. But starting the party before you even clear boarding is a bad idea. Some passengers have a drink at the hotel, then another at the airport, then another near the port, and by the time they reach the terminal, well, they're already loud, dehydrated, careless, or confused. That is a terrible way to begin a cruise. Boarding still requires attention. You need to manage documents, follow security instructions, keep track of your carry-on, listen for directions, pass through check-in, board the ship, complete muster requirements, and find your way around a place you may not know yet. Now, this is not the moment to be foggy, but there's also a bigger issue. Cruise lines can deny boarding to passengers who appear too impaired, disruptive, unsafe, or unable to follow instructions. Even if that does not happen, you can still create problems for yourself immediately. You misplace your phone. You forget where you put your passport. You argue with staff over a rule that is clearly posted. You board the ship already tired, thirsty, and irritated before the vacation has had a chance to begin. That is not smart cruising. It's also not worth it. There will be plenty of time to enjoy yourself once you're on board, settled, fed, hydrated, and fully checked in. A better boarding day rhythm is simple. Eat something before you drink. Keep water with you. Get through the terminal calmly. Board the ship. Handle the required safety steps. Find your cabin when it's ready. Then start enjoying the cruise from a place of control, not chaos. The same rule applies to sneaking alcohol on board. Do not do it. Cruise lines know the tricks. They've seen the mouthwash bottles, fake shampoo containers, hidden flasks, and strange creative packing ideas 1,000 times. If it gets caught, it gets confiscated. If it creates a bigger issue, it can become more than an inconvenience. A smooth cruise starts with a clear head. You don't need to be stiff or boring. You just need to board like someone who wants the trip to go well. And once you're thinking clearly, the next mistake is the one passengers often rush through, even though it can decide when your luggage finally reaches you. Number 2, don't hand over bags without checking the tags. Before your suitcase leaves your hand, look at the luggage tag. Not a quick glance, a real check. Make sure the ship name is right. Make sure the sailing date is right. Make sure your cabin number is right. Make sure your name is right, and make sure that tag is attached well enough to survive the trip from the curb to your cabin. This matters more than people think. On boarding day, the terminal is moving a huge number of bags. Suitcases are rolling, stacking, sorting, and disappearing into the ship's luggage system. The people handling them are trying to move quickly and accurately, but they're not mind readers. If your bag has no tag, the wrong tag, or an old tag, or a cabin number that's hard to read, you're making the process harder. Now, if the bag gets delayed, you may spend the first night of your cruise wondering where your clothes are. Now, a luggage tag problem does not always mean disaster, but it can mean waiting. It can mean visiting guest services. It can mean trying to describe a black suitcase that looks exactly like 500 other black suitcases. So fix the problem before it exists. Print or prepare your tags before boarding day if your cruise line provides them. Fold them correctly. Attach them securely. Many experienced cruisers use plastic luggage tag holders because paper tags can tear if they're only loosely attached. Also, remove old tags. That includes old airline tags, old cruise tags, and anything that could confuse where the bag is supposed to go. You don't want your suitcase wearing a history of every trip it has ever taken. You want one clear destination: your current cabin. Another smart move is to take a quick photo of your checked bag before handing them over. If something is delayed, that photo helps you describe the suitcase quickly. And again, never place your passports, medication, electronics, jewelry, or urgent items in checked cruise luggage. Even a perfectly tagged suitcase can arrive later than expected. Now, if you want to go deeper than basic packing tips, join the free Cruise Smarter community. Inside, you'll find extra cruise tips, simple modules, and smarter ways to plan your trip before boarding day even arrives. Because once your bags, timing, documents, and packing are handled, there is still one mistake that can ruin the entire cruise before you ever reach the port. Number 1. Don't fly in on embarkation day. This is the biggest mistake on the list. Do not fly to the cruise port on the same day your trip leaves unless you have absolutely no other choice. It may look fine on paper. Your flight lands at 9 in the morning, the ship leaves at 4. The airport's only 30 minutes from the port. You feel like you have plenty of time. But travel does not care about your perfect plan. Flights get delayed, connections get missed, weather changes, bags arrive late, security lines slow down, immigration takes longer than expected, traffic near the port gets heavy, a rideshare driver cancels, a small delay turns into a bigger delay, and suddenly you are not excited anymore. You're staring at the clock, refreshing your flight app, and realizing the ship is leaving whether you make it or not. That is the brutal truth of embarkation day. The cruise ship does not operate like a hotel reservation. You cannot just arrive later that night and check in. Once the ship leaves, your vacation becomes a problem to solve. Now, you may need to meet the ship at another port, deal with extra travel costs, lose vacation days, or miss the cruise completely. Travel insurance may help in some cases, but it does not give you back the calm start you wanted. Flying in one day early is one of the smartest cruise decisions you can make. It gives you breathing room. It lets you sleep near the port, wake up without panic, eat breakfast, check your documents, and head to the terminal like a normal person instead of a contestant in a travel disaster show. If your cruise leaves from a city you've never visited, arriving early is even better. You can turn the night before into part of the trip instead of treating it like dead time. Stay near the port if that makes your boarding easier. Stay near the airport if your flight arrives late and the port transfer is simple in the morning. The exact hotel doesn't matter as much as the margin. You want space between your flight and your ship. If you truly cannot fly in early, protect yourself as much as possible. Book the earliest reasonable flight. Avoid tight connections. Choose direct flights when possible. Keep cruise documents, medication, valuables, and one change of clothes in your carry-on. Know the distance from the airport to the terminal. Save the cruise line's emergency travel number before you need it. But if you have a choice, arrive the day before. That one decision can change the entire mood of your cruise. The calmest cruisers are not lucky. They just build more room into the plan. And when boarding day comes, they're not racing the clock. They're already there. Now, boarding day should feel simple, not frantic. Use the free cruise packing checklist before your next trip. Then click the video on the screen. I'm sure you'll love it. The smarter you prepare before the ship, the calmer everything feels once you're on board. Your voyage is just beginning.